Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Las Vegas Review-Journal and ReviewJournal.com.
Smith, he's the CEO of C4CUBE Business Incubator. Paul, would you like to kick this off?
Mr. Smith, Business Incubators is kind of an innovative idea, and it's something that can help Nevada with its economic diversification efforts. Can you tell us about C4CUBE?
We've got a fairly simple charter. Our goal is to help young startup businesses prosper. We want to help with the economic diversification and create an environment where people have a nexus, a resource, where they can come for assistance in their advisors, where they can come looking for capital, where they can come looking for, in some ways, the most important component, human capital.
Now, I want to start a business. I'm, an individual. I have a great idea. How do you decide whether I am a candidate for C4CUBE or not?
Well, let's start with an ugly truth. An idea is necessary for business, but by itself doesn't create a good business. And it's one of the kind of challenges. It's not a business if you don't sell anything. So figuring out who you're going to sell to, what you're going to sell, and who's going to help you build a business that sells things is, in fact, what we spend an awful lot of time doing in terms of putting the general population. We do open boot camps where anybody that would like to come, that's going to start a business from a lifestyle business to a business that they believe will somehow dominate the world, we'll provide kind of the necessary foundation steps that you've got to do to be successful.
Okay, now, Mr. Smith, and C4CUBE, as I understand it, you help connect entrepreneurial young businesses with investors, investment capital. In the recession, how abundant is investment capital for?
Reality is about 47% of all businesses are funded by friends and family in their early stages. And so it's harder. You need to cast a wider net, and you need to be more deliberate in your approach. But there is still money out there.
Okay, let's get kind of down to the real businesses. You have security companies, you have a pizza, I don't know if it's a restaurant or pizza delivery company, you have somebody who had an idea for a hangar.
I was responsible for an incubator that was Incubator of the Year in Contra Costa County. Post the dot-com bust in 2001, we were able to raise $60 million in venture funding and about $30 million in angel funding. Of those companies, we graduated 68 companies that year. Of those companies, after 5 years, 80 of them, or 85%, I'm sorry, were still in business during that time. And a number of the rest had been acquired or had merged with someone else.
What type of businesses are we talking about? Are we talking about dry cleaners, like Paul said, pizza delivery? Are we talking about technology companies? Some of the...
Look, let's be clear. Nevada has a challenge in its unemployment. We've got close to effective unemployment of 66% in the construction trades. We have opportunities in renewable energy. We have opportunities in technology. We have very bright young people going to UNR and then going other places because that's where the jobs are. What we want to do is create a nexus where we can keep those folks here. Nevada, I saw last night on the news that we've actually declined in population, which means we're not generating enough jobs, because if we had enough jobs to attract people, we'd in fact expand. So technology, renewable energy, and we still believe in the tech transfer process. We've got very bright folks at UNR. We'd like to take that stuff out of the laboratory and move it into the commercial environment. And we're working very hard with UNR to do that. Okay,
we need to take a break right now. When we come back, we want to talk about a big project in Carson City. We'll be back with more with Nevada Newsmakers after we pay a few bills.
To contact Nevada Newsmakers, call 775-857-2244 or go to NevadaNewsmakers.com.
Is the woman that owned the Nugget has offered to provide...
Carson City Nugget.
Carson City Nugget has offered to provide an awful lot of money, almost $40 million, to revitalize an area and to attract new businesses, to create a live, work, and enjoy area. We have been asked to provide some assistance in attracting new businesses. They've recognized not only that we need more economic diversification, but they've decided specifically there's a real convergence between the television and internet and animation. And so we have been asked specifically to do that in conjunction with a digital media studio to help manage those convergences, so that we have the best and brightest folks in film and in animation, coming from Hollywood, we've had a couple of applications now of folks as far away from Seattle that would like to come down and be part of that. And that project is slated to be reviewed again by the Carson City Council in February, I believe.
Okay. Mr. Smith, a business incubator, it's a very interesting idea. This is actually a two-part question. How do you get something like this started? And why does Northern Nevada provide an opportunity as opposed to a place like California where you're from?
Well, there are 1,300 incubators across the United States. They represent an immense amount of work. And so I wish I could take some of the credit for any of the heavy lifting that's been done. But starting in 2005, Kai Good, who is the founder of the incubator, along with a couple of other folks, decided that we needed more economic diversification. For the next 4 years, he spent an endless amount of time and effort on his own looking to attract those folks that are necessary for an incubator to be successful. That includes service providers, accountants, lawyers, folks that can teach people to do sales, writers, all of those things that are necessary that generally, in spite of your good idea or your brilliant opportunity or your awareness that something could be done better or different, are needed to make sure that you're successful. Having finally reached kind of critical mass where he had people from TMCC committed and Sierra Nevada College and UNR in the community, he decided to launch. He just asked me to come along and help a little bit because I had had some small success in Contra Costa.
And why Nevada?
Nevada's a remarkable place. We have brilliant people. We have a great university. We have access to politicians and to folks like you. All of that in terms of making connections. We ultimately depend on people to build our business. We depend on people to interact with and help us do the things that we can't do well. Nevada's a place that's got friendly people, great accessibility to the outdoors, and all the natural resources that we need to create an environment as remarkable as Silicon Valley is now.
Does Nevada's reputation as a low business tax state help in incubating businesses here?
You know, no taxes always helps. Any kind of no taxes. As it turns out, there was a publication this morning that said it costs the average small business $7,600 per employee to meet government regulations. The good news is in Nevada, so having read that this morning before I came here, I decided I'd figure out what it was for us. It's about $4,800. That's significant. That's almost a third less in terms of the cost of doing business here per small employee. I think that alone should bring people coming from all over the world. Okay. And we're seeing some signs of that. We've had 9 or 10 people move to Nevada in just the 3 months that we've been open.
Where are they moving from?
A couple from California. One's moving down from Seattle. We have reason to believe some folks from Canada will be down here shortly.
Now, if I have, not just